Trojan family, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Wednesday to everybody, man. Listen, man, this is one day closer to the USC football Trojans getting ready to hit that field. And listen, it's really about to be go time. Only popping, only cracking. Listen, you guys already know the future is so bright. We keep the sunglasses on. So look, man, I believe that this team is the most complete team that Lincoln Riley has had, at least since he's been at USC. Not only is this the most complete team, this is going to be the most balanced team. And let's talk about it, man. When you're talking about it from an offensive perspective, what USC did last year, I believe I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I truly believe that USC's defense is going to partly carry this team as a whole. Now, does that mean that USC's offense is going to be bad? Absolutely not. We'll take a look at what they averaged last year. USC's offense actually averaged a average of 30 points per game last year. But that doesn't mean that USC is going, they're going to be limited at that. Let's talk about it's 30.2 points per game. Total points on the year, they average actually 392. Total touchdowns, 50. So, look, as a Lincoln Riley team, most people tend to think that, this is going to be a high potent, high caliber offense, which I absolutely think so. Look, you're not going to have a Jacoby Lane. You're not going to have a Mekhi Lemon. Those two guys leading the way from a receiver standpoint and not have a potent offense. We saw some of the things that USC was able to do last year with those guys, but I think it's going to be even more potent this year. We're looking at several different players, man. And somebody asked me a few weeks ago in a live session that we had here on they asked me a question. It was a live question. They said, who do I think that the third wide receiver would be for this USC football team? And I said that I think it's going to be Zachariah Williams, or it's going to be Prince Stratton from Boise State. Zachariah Williams coming from Utah. Both of those guys are extremely explosive. One of them is a 6'5" guy, slightly taller than Jacoby Lane. Those are the guys who I thought. However, and I told you guys this, honorable mention too of some freshman guys, Romero Eisen and Tanuk Hines. I think those are some guys that can move and groove as well. Even DJ Jordan, him as well. Was his kick return, some slot. I think he's able to do it. But let me say this about the receivers real quick. We might have an unexpected guest breaking some of that rotation. And I saw some footage of Romero Eisen, and all I can say is, oh, my God. Like, this dude, this youngster out of the state of Maryland, what he's doing right now in practice, look, he doesn't look like he's a rookie at all. Now, there was a question asked to me as well on the live. Who do I feel like my breakout freshman going to be? I keep it 100. I said Floyd Buchard, or what was the freshman that I think that could break or maybe crack the rotation? I said Tanuk Hines and Floyd Buchard. After what I saw yesterday, actual footage of how Romero Eisen is looking right now, I'm going to put Romero Eisen in there as well. I still say Tanuk Hines. I saw Tanuk Hines catch a crazy pass on the sideline. I didn't even realize that was him. Somebody told me that was him. He extended his arms, and he looked crazy. But, those two dudes look like some super freshmen. Corey Sims looks like a super freshman. I told you guys a while back, man, when I first did some footage on Corey Sims, I just kind of felt like, he's like a mixture of Pittman, Drake London, but he's in between those guys from a physical standpoint, stature-wise. But he's already a physically, imposing-looking guy. But, excuse me, you're starting to see these guys, really move and groove. It's unbelievable. But when you look at the 30 points per game, I was telling somebody as I was having a conversation with him yesterday, I feel like 30 points is enough for USC to score based on the way our defense is right now. And that's why I feel like this defense and this offense is coming together as one of the most complete teams, one of the most balanced teams, excuse me, in college football right now. And I mean that with all my heart. And I think that, the 30.2 points, even though I feel like it's enough, I feel like USC is going to average at least anywhere from 30 to 40 points per game. I think they're going to get back on track as to where Lincoln Riley was his first year as the USC football coach. I think they're going to move and groove because they're too high potent. And when you look at the running backs, when have we had this many running backs at one time? 3 of them. Wayman Jordan, who's projected to possibly start, but I like all of these guys getting in the rotation. Brian Jackson, who's a monster, who we label as the next Lindell White, and of course Eli Sanders, the speedster. When have we had this type of rotation from a 3-back standpoint and able to move and groove? And then you put that with the potent wide receivers. And I think that Jaden Maiava, when you look at some of the points that were left out on the board, whether it was Nebraska, the pick 6, and whether it's the Notre Dame game, some picks, I think that's going to be cleaned up. I really believe that's going to be cleaned up. Think about that. Even when Miller Moss was in there, we left points on the board just by turnovers. I think those turnovers with Jaden Maiava in the system another year, I think, and how comfortable he is right now, and how fluid he is right now. I don't know if you guys been watching or not, but like I said, USC, and I think they're putting some of it on their Instagram, USC football page. They're putting some highlights. Whoever their digital guy is, whoever their media guy is, as far as content and creation, it looks incredible. I mean, it looks clear, it looks crisp, and you seeing Jaden Maiava throwing dimes. I put something up on my Twitter yesterday. I said Jaden Maiava is putting the bread in the bread basket. I mean, when I'm telling you he's leading the receivers, we're not seeing no behind throws. We're not seeing guys that are lost in the sauce having to contort their body and twist their body. From the footage I'm seeing, they're absolutely being led, and they're running under the pass. That's letting me know that the chemistry is being built. It's letting me know that these receivers trust Jaden Maiava. It's letting me know that Jaden Maiava is trusting the receivers, and he's throwing it and putting it where he knows his receivers at. And not only that, he's identifying the guys that can run under the ball. He sees the speed, he understands it, and that's letting me know that, look, there's some timing that's in play right now. Jaden Maiava didn't have enough time last year to have the proper timing. He got in there, and after Miller Moss was in there, and so he just kind of had to move and groove. And I want you guys kind of imagine just coming in mid-season. You come into the Nebraska game. You come in, by the way, with some of the best defensive lines in the country. Nebraska had a good defensive line. UCLA wasn't no slouch. Still had Jay Toya. Notre Dame, one of the best defensive lines in the country, and Texas A&M wasn't no slouch. But he came in there, moved and grew, made some mistakes, but I believe that's going to be completely cleaned up. So I think we're going to average around 35 to 40 points a game. That alone is going to win us some games. You couple that now with our defense. Let's get to the defense real quick. The defense last year averaged, and I'm looking at it right now, 24.1 points per game. That was last year. That's how much points they were allowed last year. I think that's going to be cleaned way up. I think USC is going to average possibly around 21 points a game to 22 points a game. I think that's the type of impact that this defensive line is going to have. I think USC, when you look at the rotation now and you look at the depth, when you look at the defensive line, Floyd Boucard, super freshmen that I including in this defensive line, Jakeem Stewart, who's absolutely moving and grooving. Listen, Jakeem Stewart, I told you guys, that is an absolute given. You guys already know. I mean, he's too good of a, and Louisiana has great players. He's too good of a interior player. He wasn't just the number one player in the country just to be the number one player. Jakeem Stewart has a real skill set that's going to be added, and I think he's going to move and groove. But you couple that with Floyd Boucard, and of course the other guys as well, like a Carline Jones. And I think, a lot of people, they forgetting about Kobe Pepe. You can't forget about him. Pepe is going to move and groove as well. I saw footage of Cam Fountain and Braylon Shelby yesterday. Those two guys, I saw them they put them on USC football page yesterday. They look incredible. They look happy. They look incredible. The chemistry is there. It's a brotherhood. And I don't think people can a lot of people don't account for the chemistry and how much that really, and really helps out with winning. You gotta like your teammate, number one, but you gotta be friends with your teammate, and you gotta feel like your teammate is a brother. I saw Cam Fountain and Braylon Shelby yesterday, big Kool-Aid smiles yesterday, looking like they were absolutely lost in the USC love sauce, and that alone, I think that's going to help us as a defensive line, as a defense, really make some things happen. So you guys can hit me in the comments. That's the question for today. Is this the most balanced team that USC's had since Lincoln Riley has been here? I think so. Lincoln Riley has not had a team this balanced on both sides of the ball. And not only that, you couple that with the coaching. This coaching is elite on all levels, and we're moving and grooving. Hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. Happy Wednesday to everybody, man. Until later on, listen, everybody stay blessed. Hey, don't forget, go ahead and get your hat from a company called Hood, man. And I forgot to tell you guys the other day when I was talking about it, this is a John Robinson edition, limited edition, selling the bookstores and all that. Hood is on Instagram. You can find them at HOOD_LTD on Instagram, or you can find that same HOOD_LTD.com. Hit me in the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. I'm out of here, man. Fight on, fight on, fight on.